Alright, another rambling with my tea. Just really having my tea now. I've done some chores this morning. I fed the cats, dishwasher, got some laundry started, paid bills, that kind of thing. Yesterday did get the concrete poured. My wife kind of went on that little vacation thing. Here's a picture of the concrete. Anyway, it got poured. It's curing now. Yay, progress, yay. Um, But last night, sitting here alone, bored, you don't want to watch TV or anything like that. Oh God, I need to eat so morning. Um, Decided to read more of that A Wanderer's Handbook. Um, Last video on Strange Happenings, I talked about that handbook. I'll put a link to the handbook below, along again with some other links to other things, just like I did in the previous one. No descriptions, just links. My mind has been blown little by little, and the little phrase coming from the original Star Trek series, there's a phrase in one of the episodes that goes to my mind right now. It's like, brain, what is brain? It's something about Spock's brain being removed. So right now it's brain, what is brain? So my brain is another movie reference from the first Kingsman movie. There's a thing with little mines blowing up, like little puffs of smoke in different colors. That's my brain reading this book. I stopped at page 106 out of 566 of the ebook, link below. I think that was chapter 4. I'm into chapter 6 now. So my mind is completely blown. To the point, I absolutely had to stop because I can't comprehend anymore. I don't think I've comprehended. I've comprehended. It's like I comprehend everything I'm reading. I'm comprehending it all, and then I'm forgetting it. It's really weird. It's like it's. I don't know. I don't know. The catchphrase again is, I just don't know. So that's my catchphrase. But it feels incorporated into me. But I just don't know. It's just part of existence, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's too early. Oh. Anyway, I wrote down a few little notes just so I could actually have some kind of thought form going on here on the video. But moving out of chapter 4 into chapter 5 on page 143, it talks about the veil of forgetfulness. God, I can't even remember what it said hardly. What did it even say? The veil of forgetfulness is necessary so you can experience and learn and make a choice, kind of thing. So as you grow up and learn and get experience and learning, and some experiences are negative, some are positive, you're learning through it all, learning how to be. Um, I hope I'm not misinterpreting any of this. I could be. So people, read it for yourself. Honestly, that's all I ever say to people. Read it for yourself. I'm not a teacher, so learn. Just learn. There was one passage on page 154, the best passage I saw so far that I love. I just love it. It says, just be yourself. That three little words, just be yourself. That's all you need to be, is just be yourself. And that works out just fine. This is just me. Just me. Ooh, my little blown little puff of smoke. That's just me. Veil of forgetfulness. Oh, I forgot where I was. Anyway, coming to this earth, you do forget. Most people forget. You're supposed to forget so you can lead a normal life. So you can learn and make a choice on in which way you want to go, the positive or negative. Talked about polarities in the last one. The positive and the negative. The positive is service to others. Negative is service to self. Okay, kind of knew this before. Mentioned this in my videos before. Before I ever read this, I put this in my videos. This is why it's blowing my mind, because it's not that I'm making this stuff up as I'm reading it and creating a new whole fantasy world as I'm reading it. I don't need to create a new fantasy world when all of this has been, all of it in my crazy little world. And I've put it in video to document it. Look, people, I don't have some kind of outline for all these videos I'm putting out here that accumulate into this final Starseed book thing. I don't have that. So I've just got my intuition, and all my intuition stuff I put out here is all here. This ebook I'm reading talks about all this stuff that's been part of my life for all my life from the very beginning. The difference is, I mentioned in my Strange Happening #1, I even put it in the description in Strange Happening #1. I said, when you get here, you're supposed to forget. Forgetting is normal. That's what you're supposed to forget. I did not forget. I forced myself to remember. I think that's why I'm really whacked out a little bit, is I forced myself to remember this, and I've known this all my life since way back when. I didn't forget. Maybe that's why I have a difficulty with the choice sometimes, all this time up until now, the choice of service to self or service to others. Now, honestly, I have gone into the service to others path. Okay, chopping the video up a little bit. It wouldn't upload, so it's kind of in my own crazy world telling me I need to change it somehow. So I'm adding some stuff in, kept reading the book, and sure enough, there it all is, of course. Talking about not making a choice, positive or negative polarity, yet I am associated with the positive. I do the positive, but I don't make a choice for the positive. Ran across something again in the future. It talks about believing versus faith. Believing is just trying to get there. Faith is knowing, and this is something that I know. I don't call it faith. I just know this because I saw that source. I don't have a choice, and I actually use those words in an early video in Strange Happenings. When I'm talking about this sort of thing, I said the words I said, quote, I don't think I have a choice. I said that early on, way early. And then I just got to this part. There is in the Christ consciousness that choiceless acceptance of the Creator's will. Yeah. What more challenging concept for the seeker who wishes to make this choice than to be told that in a way he must also become choiceless. This is not easy work. Page 186. Of course. Even in young teen years, seeing all these dark entities and things like that, and how they were trying to influence me to do dark things, really dark things, and I really had to fight against it, against doing a lot of dark things, service to self, to fight against service to self. That was as a teenager. Do you know how hard that was as a teenager? Teenagers are all about themselves. They're all about self. You're learning. It's all about you. You know everything. That kind of, if y'all remember back being a teenager. But for me as a teenager, I didn't go in that direction. I recognized others as much more important than me. And so I fought against all that service to self stuff and went to service to other. Just touching people. Not physically touching, but interacting in a positive way with people. If you saw my, what's that, Strange Happening #3 or 4, where I talk about the little girl that was handicapped at the school and how I treated her normal. That was back in that aula. And just, this is where you need to treat people that's really mentally challenged, handicapped people normal. Give them love. And, okay, I got to get off that because it's emotional to me. Anyway. So I don't think I've been on a dark path. I think I've been on a positive path. However, I didn't choose the positive path or the negative path. The fellow forgetfulness you're supposed to choose. I didn't choose. I chose that higher source when it came to the choice. And I'll get to that in a second. Page 145, still in chapter 5, it brings up karma. Talking about karma. Because a lot of things you do can build up some negative karma, and it will come back on you, and it's baggage, and you can carry it over from one life to the next, and all this kind of thing. And all this karma, in some lifetimes you've got to try to clear that karma. The way you do it is through forgiveness, learning to forgive. The thing I wanted to learn from the beginning when I came here was forgiveness. Forgiveness in a big way, a really big way. In Strange Happening 55, that happened. It was overwhelming. It blew my mind. It's I didn't even put a title to the video. I said, you can ignore this. You don't have to see this. This is a message for myself. I had to get it out of my head. But Strange Happening 55 was a huge change in my life. It was what I've been working for my entire life, and it happened. So it's forgiveness in a big way, and it worked. Now, most of the people, the thing I'm reading here is forgiveness for self, which I did, forgiveness for self. But the thing with me, I'm so mad and insane and crazy, is this, all this other stuff in my past life before that, knowing that others are more important than me, seeing the source, knowing what it is, that it's beyond love. And I felt all that love. It's love for everyone, for everything. It's overwhelming love. And then to go beyond that to joy. I remember that. And I was there. And even I mentioned the word joy. I didn't realize this till after I made that video yesterday. But I even said source and joy. And the order I put it in was what it was like was, it was going up through love, perfection, and then joy. And I said that in Strange Happening 70, Starseed, at the 9-minute, 10-second mark. If you go back and look, Strange Happening 70, at the 9-minute, 10-second mark, that's when I talk about that. And I went and reviewed that, and I even talked about coming back here. I used those words. I'm looking back at some of my video, and I'm like, I can't believe I used those words. And those words are in this book. Those same type of words, the same happenings are in this book. Now, I think in the previous video, I may have gotten some of this like 8th tier thing with reaching the source confused with densities that they're talking about, 3rd, 4th, 5th densities things. I think I'm getting those two confused. This 8th tier learning versus densities. I think I'm getting those two confused. I think one's more the metaphysical side. Density is both metaphysical, but with physically and metaphysical moving to a different density, where a tier thing is like teachings, learning, I guess. I don't know. Okay, people, I don't know. So I just don't know. Back to page 154, just be yourself. So I'm just being myself, people. That's all I can be is myself. And then again, brain, what is brain? Brain's exploding, okay? Brain's exploding. So, moved into chapter 6. This is all in chapter 5. Yeah, brain, what is brain? Oh, Lord. God, this video's long. I'm so sorry. Chapter 6, page 170. That's why I got into that, and that's why I had to stop. Was around there. Reading some of that material. I went to I think page 176. But this chapter talks about density of choice. And even in this chapter, they put the choice with the T and the and the C in choice, the beginning letters of the word, in capital letters, the choice. That was my Strange Happening 69, the choice. I actually even called it that. The choice. People have to make a choice between one polarity or the other. Are you going to serve yourself or serve others? If you don't get there fully on one or the other, then you can now repeat some of this until you get there. So, again, just be yourself. You'll get there. Don't worry. You'll get there. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. In the end, it will. Everything's going to be fine. But just be yourself. And that's a good thing. Okay, just need to add this little bit in here. Talk about everything's going to be okay. Just be yourself. Way back, where was it? What's the note? Strange Happening number 6. I talk about astral travel to Titan. At the very end of that video, I don't know if you watched it, but at the very end, I talk about going up to ask the universal consciousness, the universal creator, the creator, source, whatever you want to call it, to ask that a question about the truth of everything. It told me the truth about myself, that I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be doing these things. It relates to just be yourself. And then I ran across on page 188, I've got it here, reading it, and I'm quoting from here, I am a survivor
that I am held in the gentle arms of a kindly creator. That which is happening to me right now is what is supposed to be happening to me right now. I'm like, oh wow, that's exactly what I heard. How odd is that? One final one I would like to point out is also another strange happening from way back when, strange happening 14. I'm talking about meteors. And sorry, people, but I have a really bad hangover even 2 days after Thanksgiving. Really bad hangover. But at the 6 minute mark, I go into some stuff that's all throughout this book. I'm talking about not interfering with free will. And this is last year. I think it's last year, 2019. I put this out, and it way before I heard anything about Haruka or truth tellers or starseeds, any of this kind of thing. Uh, and it talks about don't interfere with free will. It also talks about, for me personally, I've got to be careful about the arrogance trap. That is something I have to really be careful with. And then I say one couple of words in there that I was just like, wow, because I reviewed it again. And I was just like, I can't believe I said that. I say, yeah, I'm still human. I'm still here.
Anyway, back to chapter 6, density of choice. You have to choose between one or the other. And I didn't. I didn't choose one or the other. I chose the source. And then it came back to the veil of forgetfulness. That's why you're supposed to forget, is so you can make the choice between one or the other. And I didn't forget, and I didn't choose either one. I chose that source because it's always been there for me. I've always been a part of it. It's been a part of me, and I feel that. And I don't know why. That's why I'm saying brain, what is brain? My little brain's exploding. My fragile little mind is exploding into multicolored things and just little puffs of smoke. So finally, that page 154, that phrase that I love, just be yourself. And for all of this, I don't know, but it feels part of being, part of my being, just being, just being in the moment, here, now, just being. It's all part of it, all part of what I am, just being. And I don't understand it, but it's there. And I don't know. I just don't know.